How's it going, everyone? It is time for another ranking video this month. I have a request to do my top 5 personal favorite Argento films. Now, the reason why it's top 5 and not top 10 is because I haven't seen a lot of Argento's films to make a good top 10. So I'm going to give you my top 5 and a few honorable mentions at the end. So, this was a ranking request for Jeannette, so thank you very much. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. My number 5 will probably be, I guess, a little controversial because this one isn't very well received by most Argento fans for some reason. And my number 5 will be Trauma. This one, to me, is a bit underrated and it has one of my favorite actors of all time in it, Brad Dourif. I like the killer's gimmick in the movie, what they do, how they go about their killings. The weapon, I think, is very unique as well, created by Tom Savini. And the motivation for why this killer is upset and killing makes total sense. And it's got one of the most messed up, backstories of a killer ever. When you find out what happened to them, it is just so dark and messed up. The main couple in this movie it's an odd relationship. It's kind of hard to get on board with. You got Dario Argento's daughter playing this 15, 16-year-old girl hooking up with this older dude who at one point says, oh, you're just a kid. But then a minute later, he's trying to have sex with her. But I still love the mystery and I love that reveal. Number 4 will go to 1985's Phenomena. This movie has one of Dario Argento's craziest third acts. It is batshit crazy. It's got a very bizarre, unique premise, and it just goes off the rails by the end, and it gets gross and weird, and I love it. I also love that Donald Pleasance is in this movie a good amount, and he has a chimp sidekick. The kills are great in this. They're very Argento-like. You got the windows being smashed. He does that in a lot of his movies. Some decapitations, and what I don't like about the movie, what kind of weighs it down, is the soundtrack. This has one of my least favorite soundtracks in an Argento movie. I think Goblin did it, and it's just way too obnoxious, and there's a lot of hard rock in it, some Iron Maiden, and it's just too jarring and obnoxious, and I don't like it. Number 3 goes to a lot of people's favorites, and that is Tenebrae. This one has a great leading actor playing Peter Neal, and I love that this movie has an early reveal that makes the third act even more intriguing because you're like, where's this going now that this has been established? The ending is amazing. This is how you end a horror movie on such a high note, and it has just blood-soaked walls and a fantastic score also. You get some cool artsy imagery and some Argento style shots in it, but some crane shots, just cool cinematography, camera work in here, and some gratuitous nudity as a cherry on top. Number 2 will go to a film I just reviewed recently, and that is Suspiria. This movie has some breathtaking cinematography. It's his cinematic visual masterpiece, in my opinion. It's got vivid, colorful set designs and just the lighting. I fucking love it. And the kills are very gruesome but also stylish as well. The Goblin score is beautifully haunting and catchy. It's one of my favorites from them. Jessica Harper, she's a great lead actress in this. I like her character, and also it's just a very unique witch movie. Suspiria, number 2. Check out my review for all my thoughts. Now, number 1 could go back and forth with number 2, but right now my number 1 will be Dario Argento's Deep Red. This, to me, I think, is his giallo masterpiece with terrific, engaging characters, with great dialogue. It takes risks, and also it builds at a steady pace. And the Goblin score in this movie, again, is wonderful. The kill scenes in this movie are mean-spirited and incredibly memorable, with mechanical dolls and laughing and running towards the victim and hanging Barbies, just adding an extra layer of eeriness to these scenes. And like a lot of Argento movies, the cinematography, the atmosphere of this movie is pretty good. It looks beautiful, and I just think it has some really intense moments in it, and the biggest reason why it's my number 1 is, like I said at the beginning, the characters I love. So gotta give it the Deep Red. That is my number 1. And some shout outs for other Argento movies that I've seen that I really like. The Bird with the Crystal Plumage and Cat of Nine Tails. I have not seen that third one of the Animal trilogy because it's hard to come across. The Four Flies one, but Opera, that one's kind of cool. I like that one. I'm not a big fan of opera, and so if you just took out the opera singing in that movie, it would be better because I don't like opera. But outside of the opera, that movie's pretty good. Inferno, it's like the sequel to Suspiria. Very beautiful, also lots of good lighting, some cool kills. You get a cat scare that's like 100 cats at once, so it's a 100 cat scare. So yeah, those are some of my other favorites that could have made my list if I did like a top 10. So there you go. Top 5 Argento movies. Those are my favorites. Let me know what yours are in the comments below. And as always, if you like what you've seen here, you can hit this like button and become a subscriber today just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And remember, it's all an opinion. You don't need to get upset about it.